This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the DailyFX Forum.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. If you recall, during the past two reports I mentioned a potential long trade against the 61.8 fib level. Prices did come down towards the entry point, which was at the 84.60 area, but then we had another close beneath that 61.8. So right now, if you did enter this trade, it would be probably just around current levels. I would go ahead and exit the trade and look for another opportunity, because clearly the 61.8 is not acting as any type of support here. So we might just give it another 24 to 48 hours or so on this particular trade idea. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi. Not much has changed here. Again, the short trade recommendation off the upper channel line here. And again, I wasn't very confident when I did give that recommendation. So moving forward now, as I mentioned, if you did enter, I would look to exit right now in the middle of the range, maybe a little closer to that 124 figure, which would be the exact middle of the range. But moving forward now, I would still just tentatively use this upper channel line as resistance, as a reference point for a trade. We'd look to enter maybe just a few pips beneath the line with a stop, maybe 50 to 75 pips above the line. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and not much has changed here. If you recall, during the past several reports, I was looking for a potential double top setup. Prices did come up, make a high, and then we had a little bit of a sell-off now. And ideally, this is what I would want to see if this candle wick actually reached up above that 81 figure, but it didn't. And right now, with prices at about the 80-30 area, this still represented a little bit too much risk. So for the next 24 to 48 hours or so, I'd look for prices to come up, maybe breach that 181 figure slightly, and then have a sell-off, which would confirm that area acting as resistance, at which point we might go ahead and enter the trade. So this trade certainly can set up within the next 24 hours. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, and this is the previous resistance line that I was using. Let me zoom out here and give you a fuller view. The previous resistance line, prices did break out above that line, and then we had the successful back test of the line, and prices are now rallying off that point. So moving forward now, I would just use this simple support line as a reference point, using the mid-March low as well as the late June low over here, and look for prices to come down. Right now, this line is just beneath that 152 figure, with prices right now at about 52.95, about 100 pips away. So certainly this trade could materialize within the next 24 to 48 hours. We'd look to enter just above the line, maybe just a few pips above the line, with a stop maybe 50 to 75 pips beneath the line. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thank you for listening.